BMW's design team has come under an awful lot of criticism recently, rather unjustly in my opinion. But today, I think I would struggle to find someone that doesn't agree with me when I say that this is probably one of the best looking BMWs of the modern era. But before we go and take a look at it and I show you what it is, please click in the pop-out banner in the top of the screen to check out all of Rybrook's new BMW offers. There are some great things up there, including some incredible deals on X3M competitions. Now, have you done that? Checked it out? Good. Let's crack on with the video. What car am I talking about then? Well, I'm talking about this. This is the 8 Series Gran Coupe. The Gran Coupe finishes BMW's Halo 8 Series lineup. So now we have the coupe, we have the convertible, and we have the Gran Coupe. Firstly, what is a Gran Coupe? Well, to put it simply, it's an 8 Series with 4 doors. And well, look how elegant it looks. I can see a number of different cars in this. Firstly, that rear quarter, I can see Aston Martin Rapide there. And then you've got the front, which obviously is 8 Series, which in my opinion is one of the best modern BMWs, for the looks anyway. But how's this for a question? Which do you think looks better? Use the pop-out banner to vote. The 8 Series Coupe, the 8 Series Convertible, or the 8 Series Gran Coupe? My opinion is this one. So what is the 8 Gran Coupe? Well, it is pretty much on exactly the same platform as the normal 8 Series. You've got the grills down here, which instead of being vertical like they are in the X7 and the X5, they're horizontal. So they give a bit more of a wide, aggressive stance at the front. They're also active. So at the minute, because the car has been sat here for a while I've set up, they've closed for better aerodynamics. And then when the engine gets hot, they open. So they're fully dynamic. You've got these beautiful LED headlights as standard, which wrap around the side. Now this one's got the standard LEDs, but you can also get BMW's optional laser lights. And then the flank is so well proportioned. Unlike BMW, it's not full of really angular, aggressive lines. Now it has got obviously your signature shoulder line, which comes along here and through the door handles, but it's not pointy and aggressive, if you get what I mean. It's not angular, it's just a really beautiful, clean, crisp line which just goes all the way through. It's just stunning. Got the air breathers down here, which are finished in chrome on this one. You've got the chrome around the windows, which actually I think on the Gran Coupe looks pretty brilliant. The doors, they're pillarless, as you'd expect. I know that's a very trivial little thing, but I love pillarless doors, and especially the rears. How beautiful is that? We'll touch on the interior a little bit later. But as I've already said, I can see a number of different cars in this, mainly from especially this angle. I can see Aston Martin. I can see Aston Martin Rapide with the shape of this rear here. And well, we all know that Aston Martin is some of the most beautiful cars out there. I think these alloy wheels as well set it off beautifully. And this colour is called Dravic Grey. And wow, it looks absolutely stunning. The rear is also so well proportioned. We've got these exquisite thin LED lights around the rear, which sort of start here, wrap all the way around the side, which just adds so much just sort of look on the road. When you are following this in the dark, you know quite easily that this is a BMW. It's so distinctive. The rear boot lid actually, I think, looks a bit more tapered, a bit more aggressive than it does on the coupe and the convertible. And then I just love the way that the roofline drops off here. It's not sloped too much, it's quite a nice gradual drop. You've got the air breathers down here, which again just add another level of aggression. And then you've got the big dual exhaust pipes. And these actually, get your hand in there, they're real. You've got this really nicely sculpted diffuser down the back. And well, this particular car has also got comfort access. So to open the boot, foot literally underneath, it's all electric as well, as you'd expect. The boot space is amazing. As you would expect, the regular 8 Series, well, the 8 Coupe and the convertible have a big boot, but this takes it to a new level. The aperture here actually isn't as bad as you would expect. I mean, you would think obviously with a car like this, with this kind of boot, would have a tiny little gap for you to put stuff in, like a little letterbox, but it's not. There's loads of room in here. I'm not going to jump in because, well, it's really, really cold and I had surgery last week, so it's probably not the best of ideas. But it just seems like it goes on for about 3 miles. There's so much space in here, it's really, really great. And then to pop the boot back down, foot underneath, and it drops. So that is a look around some of the exterior features of the new 8 Series Gran Coupe. But now let's jump inside and have a look around the interior, starting with those rear seats. The space in the rear is excellent, it really is. There is loads of headroom in here, to be fair. I mean, I'm not the tallest person in the world, just under 6 foot, and I could just sit in here for ages. The seats in front of me aren't set all the way forwards either, and there's loads of room. I mean, I've got plenty of room from my knees to the back of the front seat. You've got this really nice, beautiful looking center console here with ambient lighting everywhere, ambient lighting just everywhere here. You've got sunroof, which is all controlled actually, individual sunroof, so you've got the front, which is controlled separately from in the front, and then the rear, which you can control from on the door. That's really cool. Adds just an area of light in here, lets a bit more in. Beautiful Alcantara headlining back here as well, and it's really nice. Centre here, you've got a little armrest which pops down with some cup holders, which obviously if you go to Costa or somewhere like that, put your coffee in there, another bit of storage in here for your phone and so on. But it really is a beautiful place to sit. And then if you wanted to really quickly get something out the back, pop that down and you can literally access the boot from there. Yeah, I'd have absolutely no problem at all sitting in here for a long distance journey. And we've got heated seats and your own air conditioning in the back, including 2 USB-C charging ports. But that's enough of the rear. Let's go and check out the cockpit. So, what is the driving position like? Well, as you'd expect, it's sublime. It really, really is. And the interior of this car is stunning, especially in this specification with these beautiful ivory seats. Everything in here is beautiful quality. I love the way that your stitching line here goes all the way in and over the top of here and onto your center console. All this is beautiful leather. Now, a lot of dashboards obviously aren't leather, they're a sort of plastic, but this is leather, and it's a really soft, supple leather. So, I apologise for the amount that I'm stroking everything, but it just feels so soft and supple everywhere. As I've already mentioned with the back, you've got the beautiful Alcantara headlining with the sunroof, which is controlled all in here. So this is all individual compared to the back, and it does slide backwards as well if you want a bit of extra air in the summer. Obviously, it's sort of middle of November and it's horrible today, but as you'd expect. Now we've got BMW's newest architecture in here. So you've got the new M Sport steering wheel, which is big, chunky and fat. You've got a heated steering wheel on this one. The new cockpit in the center, which is actually, I think, really good, really functional and easy to use. And then down in the center, everything's moved. If you're used to, say, for example, the 6 Gran Coupe, moving into the 8 Gran Coupe, it's quite different. Your start button is down in the center now. You've got all of your different buttons here. So you've got your traction control button, your front cameras, your rear cameras, your start-stop system, your Sport, Comfort, Eco Pro and Adaptive modes down here. You've got an auto hold handbrake as well. You've got the actual handbrake, which is electronic, obviously. Gear selector, which in this one is Crafted Clarity. Your iDrive system here as well. So the iDrive can be controlled using the normal rotary dial in the center down here, or it is now fully touchscreen as well. And this new operating system 7 is just, it's fabulous. It was first sort of debuted in the X5 and the 8 Series when they came out, well, it was November, December last year. So 12 months since those came out, and this system, it's fantastic. It really, really is. You've got your air conditioning controls in the center here. This particular car has got heated and cooled seats in the front as well. So just everything that you would ever need. This one also has the semi-autonomous driving, so as long as you keep a pressure point on the steering wheel, the car will drive itself, which is incredibly clever. I mean, what more can I say about it in here? It's just beautiful. It really is. And well, I suppose what we need to go and do now is take this thing out onto the roads and see what it's like to drive. So I would say elegance is probably the best word that I can find to describe how this car drives. It doesn't encourage you to go and attack corners. It doesn't encourage you to plant the throttle every 3 seconds like the M850i does. This 840i with that 3-litre 6-cylinder engine and S-Drive, which is 2-wheel drive unlike the diesel comparative, it's silky smooth. As always with BMW, the gearbox is phenomenal. It just knows what gear you want to be in at any particular time. The damping is fantastic. It's so sublime and smooth. Now, the thing that you notice straight away when you first jump into this car is the integral active steering, which is the rear wheel steer. So when you turn the wheel, the rear wheels turn in the opposite direction to give higher maneuverability on the car. And what that does is it makes a big car, this is undoubtedly a big car, its floor plan is pretty big. It makes a big car feel quite small and agile. So when you're maneuvering it around car parks and so on, around town centres, you don't really feel its length. And then when you start to press on, the handling and the precision of the steering is excellent. It absolutely is. As I've already said, it doesn't feel like it wants to attack roads. It flows. It flows beautifully from road to road. It's a really nice, fluid movement. You don't feel like you're constantly on edge. This isn't really a car that's about that though, is it? This is a car that will cover great numbers of miles up and down the motorways of the UK and in other countries. And for that purpose, it's sublime. It's so quiet in here and comfortable. The interior is obviously now very familiar. It's the 8 Series, which the interior materials are such high quality and beautiful. This one's got the crafted clarity as well, which gives you the gear selector in the sort of crystal finish with the crystallized start-stop button as well. But the way that this car drives is just so elegant and so fluid that it's beautiful. Our roads in this country are so potholy, especially one that I'm on now, but it just soaks them up beautifully, beautifully well. We've got a panoramic sunroof in this one as well, so it's almost double, so you've got the front and the back, so both areas let in so much light. I love this interior, I love the look of it, I love the feel, love the colour of this one as well. It's just a beautiful place to sit and drive. I think BMW have nailed this car, and the way that this car looks and feels is absolutely spot on. It's taken that mantle that the 6 Series Gran Coupe created and just taken it on massively. Yeah. Let's just quickly now see what the performance is like, shall we? So let's flick it across, put it into sport. I imagine most of the owners of Gran Coupes aren't going to be doing this, but let's see how it responds, shall we? Let's pop it into manual mode and then... Oh, I tell you what, if you want to get a shift on, you really can. And the noise as well is great. It sounds really meaty. Oh, yes. See, jack of all trades, this thing. 1 second, it's attacking corners with a great fluidity and elegance. And then you put it back into comfort mode, it just soaks up miles. It's just a mile muncher. This is just, yeah, sublime. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful car to drive, this. So then, there it is. This is the new 8 Series Gran Coupe, and it's finally filled the 8 Series lineup. Before I go, I'd like to know whether BMW have got this car right. So I want to know if you think that the 8 Series Gran Coupe is a better looking car than the 6 Series Gran Coupe. Use the pop-out banner in the top of the screen to vote. Now, as always, guys, thank you ever so much for watching this video. Do please drop it a like and subscribe to Rydebrook TV. for plenty more content just like this to come. I also love hearing your feedback. I love reading through all the comments. I'll reply to as many as I possibly can, and thank you ever so much for your continued support. Now, one last thing, if you'd like to check out Rybrook's offers, do please use the click out banner in the top of the screen. As always, thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you next time.